everyone, my name is Yasmin. I'm a personal trainer based out of Chiswick and founder and creator of Say Fitness Personal Training. I'm going to take you through a 15 to 20 minute mobility routine that is going to mobilize every joint in your body. You can do this as part of your morning routine or just as part of your daily movement routine. All you need is an exercise mat and your body weight. So you can do this anywhere in your home with minimal space required. Okay, let's get started. We're going to start with our feet together and we're going to drive our heels out followed by our toes. So our feet are hip width apart. You're going to drive your tailbone down towards the ground. So you're going to lengthen your spine a little bit. So you come into more of a neutral position. Head, shoulders nicely stacked on top of the body. Starting with a little bit of mobilization for your upper spine. So you're going to turn your head over to the right and over to the left. So just to get a little bit of movement through the upper spine first. Do a couple more of these. And then turning the head back to center, drawing the chin towards the chest, and then the head up towards the ceiling. So now we're lengthening the front and the back of the neck. Do 2 more of these. And then you're going to tilt the head over to the side. So right ear to right shoulder, left ear to left shoulder. Now we're lengthening the sides of the neck. You're going to do this a couple more times. And then we're going to hold it in position. So from here, I'm gently holding the side of my head and then lengthening the heel of my palm away from my body. So I just get a bit more lengthening, a bit more stretch down the sides. Looking underneath your armpit slightly, and then turning your gaze up towards the ceiling. Gently release and switch sides. Looking underneath your armpit, and then up towards the ceiling. And gently release. Arms down by your sides, you're going to move the heads of the shoulders forwards, and then up, squeeze the shoulder blades, and then down. Roll them forwards. Move them up, slide them back, and then down. One more time. Up, squeeze back, and then down. Now we reverse it. Squeeze back, and then up, and then forwards, and then down. 2 more times. Really emphasizing that squeeze of the shoulder blades. And then down. From here, you're going to bring your left foot in front of your right, and then you're going to reach the arms up, grabbing hold of your left wrist. You take an inhale here, and as you exhale, you flex to the sides. So lateral flexion here, pushing your hip out towards the opposite wall. Careful not to rotate your torso too much. Take an inhale. And then exhale, come back to center. Switch sides. Take an inhale, lengthen up towards the ceiling. Exhale, flex to the sides. Again, being aware if you start rotating your torso forwards. Taking an inhale, and then exhale, come back to center. Feet hip width still, arms across the chest. You're going to tuck and roll down halfway. And now you're going to spin round your pelvis in one direction. So just rolling like a spinning top on top of your pelvis. Just getting a little bit of movement now into the mid-spine. Change direction. Keeping that chin tucked. So we get that little bit of articulation through the spine. One more time. And then rolling up to center. From here, taking an inhale, reaching up. I want you to scoop over like you're rolling over a barrel as you articulate down through the spine, vertebra by vertebra. Slowly rolling down, rounding through as many of your vertebrae as you can. When you reach the ground or reach your shins, taking an inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, slowly restack the spine, vertebra by vertebra, one by one, with the head the last thing to leave the body to come to standing. One more time. Inhale. And then exhale. Tuck the chin, roll down through the spine. Scoop in your lower belly, engage your core as you slowly roll down. As you reach the ground or reach your shins, you're going to inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, straighten the legs. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, straighten the legs. One more time. Inhale. And then exhale, and then slowly walking out into a plank position. In your plank, your shoulders are stacked over your wrists. Your fingers are spread wide. You're pushing the ground away, and you're pushing your heels back towards the back of the room. Engaging your core by drawing the lower belly in and squeezing your bum. Looking slightly forward, so to the end of your mat, so the crown of the head reaches away from your tailbone. Really engage every muscle in your body here. Stay strong for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dropping your knees and dropping your hips slightly as you open up your chest towards the ceiling. Roll the shoulders back away from the ears, squeeze the shoulder blades. Taking an inhale, as you exhale, look over your right shoulder, little twist. Back to center on your inhale, exhale, look over your left. Back to center, and then coming onto all fours. Shoulders stacked over your wrists, hips over knees. Keep spreading those fingers wide so that you're grounded towards the mat. Now from here, coming into a little bit of cat-cow, so you're going to inhale, lengthen the head and tailbone towards the ceiling. Exhale, tuck the pelvis, round the spine, push the ground away. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, round the spine like an angry cat towards the ceiling. One more time, inhaling, lengthen. And then exhale, round the spine. Use your core to really add to that flexion. Come back to a neutral position. And then from here, taking an inhale, reach the right arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, thread the needle, reach the fingertips through. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, scoop it through. One more time. Inhale. And then exhale, scoop it through, sit down onto that side. You can press into the fingertips and look up towards the ceiling. That will aid a little bit more of that rotation through your mid-spine. Taking an inhale, exhale, push yourself up to center. Inhale your left arm up, exhale, scoop it through. Inhale, and then exhale, scoop it through. One more time. And then exhale, scoop it through and sit down, all your weight into that left shoulder. Push into the fingertips and maybe you can rotate a little bit more. Taking an inhale and then exhale, push yourself back up. From here, taking a nice long inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to reach right arm, left leg as they extend away from each other. Drop the left hip so your pelvis is squared, reaching fingertips away from your toes. Hold here on your inhale, and then exhale, release down. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, left arm, right leg extends. Draw that lower belly in. Make sure you square off the pelvis. Take an inhale, and then exhale, coming back in. Keep repeating these from one side to the other, alternating as you go, and using your exhale to extend opposite arm from opposite leg. Do one more on each side. And then back, and then exhale, and then back. Extending your right leg back on its own here. And then as you exhale, you're drawing the knee towards the elbow. Squeeze and make contact. Inhale, and then exhale, squeeze and make contact. Last one here. Exhale, squeeze, and then bring the foot outside of the right hand. From here, you're looking forward, extending the spine, and you're going to draw circles through your hip. Just mobilizing through the hip joint. Do 3 to 4 circles in one direction and 3 to 4 circles in the opposite direction. From here, reaching the right arm forward as far as you can, and then circle all the way around. Reaching forward, and then circle all the way around. One more time, reach forward, and then circle all the way around. From here, just opening up the hips slightly, so bringing the hand into the inside of your thigh, and looking up towards the ceiling. You can add a little pulsing motion if you need to. And then coming back down, release that leg back. Inhale, extend the left leg, drop the left hip, knee to elbow on your exhale. Inhale, and then exhale. And then inhale, and then exhale, and reaching that foot outside. Extend your spine and start drawing those circles. One side might feel a little bit tougher than the other. Just go to where it feels good to mobilize, never to the point of pain. And then from here, extending the left arm, and then exhale all the way round. Extending, and then all the way round. And one more time. And then bringing that hand on the inside of the thigh, and maybe you add that little pulsing motion. And then bringing that leg back. You're going to bring yourself into a deep squat position. Now from here, if your heels pick up, then you can bring your feet a little bit wider, but again, go to where the body feels good. Meet my cat Ari, who's going to help us with our exercises today. Draw the hands together, elbows on the insides of your knees. You're going to reach your left arm on the inside of the left leg and then rotate your right arm up. And then you're going to switch sides. Try and really, not force, but try and encourage those knees to come out a little bit more. So to externally rotate. The more we can do that and open up our hips, the more we can alleviate lower back pain. So even if you spend a bit of time in this deep squat, just pulsing the knees out to the sides. From here, we're going to come into 10 frog squats. You're going to keep those elbows glued on the insides of those knees. And then from here, you're going to raise the hips up towards the ceiling and then down. Notice that it's very normal to feel any clicking or cracking in your knees. In fact, it's a good sign. It means that we are mobilizing those joints well. So a nice sort of 10 smooth frog squats. Take your time with these, there's no rush. And then 4 more, 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. From here, slowly reaching down and then coming into a seated position. So from here, you're just going to extend your right leg and you're going to hug the left leg in towards your body. We're just going to mobilize the ankles a little bit, so I want you to try and restrict as much movement through the leg as possible. And then you're just going to rotate through that ankle joint. Let's go for 4 or 5 in one direction and then 4 or 5 in the other. So we can just isolate through that ankle joint. And then switch sides, squeezing in and then rotating. Pointing and flexing the foot and then round the other way. And then from here, extending the legs out and then flexing the feet and then pointing the toes. And then flexing and then pointing. Just to get a little bit more movement in those ankles. 2 more. And then from here, reaching the arms up, taking a nice long inhale, and then lifting out of your hips, and then exhaling, forward fold. Don't worry if your chest doesn't reach your thighs or your shins. Think more about, again, just mobilizing and adding a little bit more of a dynamic stretch. So inhaling and then exhaling, flex the feet wherever your hands fall. Just try and envision the crown of your head reaching towards your toes and the shoulders away from the ears. From here, bringing your soles of the feet together. And then the elbows push down into those knees, taking an inhale. And then as you exhale, you're just going to push those knees down towards the ground. Taking another inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, drawing those knees towards the ground. Good. Slowly release there. You can hold any of these stretches for a little bit longer if you have the time. Last little stretch, a little bit of a hip and glute stretch and also mobilizer. So from here we're going to come into our half pigeon. So you're going to bring your shins as parallel as you can to the top of your mat. This is quite an intense stretch, so just be wary of that. You're going to extend the back leg, so the back leg is straight. So make sure you check, look behind you that the back leg is straight. Now there are different options for this. Option 1 is to hold it here. This might be enough for you. Option 2 is to come down onto your forearms. And then option 3 is to come down fully, head onto hands. Now keep in mind, whichever position you choose, you want to draw your right hip forward and your left hip back. Whichever position you choose, hold for minimum 30 seconds. So aiming for a good minute on each side. And this is definitely one where one side will feel very different to the other. So be very careful coming out of the stretch, switching sides, extending the back leg, making sure it's straight, and then picking again your preferred position here. An alternative for your pigeon stretch is the figure of 4. So you can come into right foot slides on top of the thigh, and you can work your way by positioning your bottom closer towards your front heel. So this might be where you start, and then over time you can stretch into those hips a little bit more as you become a little bit more flexible, a little bit more comfortable with the pose. So that option and then the other. From here, just coming into a downward dog position as we slowly make our way back up to standing. So take your time, bring your feet hip width apart, hands shoulder width apart, and wrap the elbows in towards your face. Pushing the ground away and elevating those hips up to the ceiling and drawing the heels down towards the ground. Slowly walking the hands in, back towards the feet, and maybe just grabbing opposite elbows as you come into your ragdoll position. Soften the knees and be really loose and heavy here. Dropping the arms, taking a nice long inhale. As you exhale, bend the knees, tuck the pelvis, and take minimum of 10 seconds to slowly roll up towards standing. Restacking your lower, your mid, and your upper spine. From here, taking a nice big shoulder roll. Final little stretch here, interlace the fingers, rounding the spine, pushing the palms away. And then from here, interlacing the fingers behind, extending the spine, crown of the head away from your shoulders. And then from here, slowly releasing, shake out the shoulders a little bit, shake out the wrists, and shake out the legs. And you are ready for the rest of your day. Hope you enjoyed that. And of course, if you have any comments or any questions, of course, you can always comment below the video, or you can get in contact with me via my email address or any of my social media platforms. I hope this has helped, and I hope you have a great day.